Hey ladies and gentlemen, Wolf Crier here, and welcome to Diablo 3 Basics. In this video series, I try to enlighten newcomers, returning players, and veterans alike, offering tips, tricks, and suggestions for Diablo 3. And this video is going to be all about pylons. We're going to review the 5 different types of pylons you can find in Greater Rifts and Nephilim Rifts, as well as helpful tips that you can utilize when encountering these pylons, and last but not least, how Greater Rift progression ties into when these pylons spawn. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive right into the 5 types of pylons. First up, we have the Speed Pylon. This is going to increase your movement speed greatly, pretty much capping out your movement speed, allowing you to run through the rift at will, and it allows you to run through mobs unhindered, allowing you to just navigate wherever you want, and when you pass through mobs, you knock them up. Now this is pretty handy because builds that utilize the strong arm bracers, this will proc that effect. And this pylon also increases your attack speed by 30%. Very useful if you are utilizing your generators or a skill with no cooldown. You will be able to attack much faster. You do have to remember that this offers no resource return. So if you are using a skill that utilizes a ton of resources, you are going to fly through that resource. But it offers a massive amount of burst damage, that's for sure. Another tip is, let's say you're on a floor that is not conducive to you completing this rift. Bad mob types, bad layout, that sort of thing. You can utilize the Speed Pylon to navigate your way through to the exit, hoping for a better next floor. Alright, and next up we have the Channeling Pylon. The Channeling Pylon reduces your cooldown by 75% and removes all resource cost. So pretty much offering you free casts of whatever skills you're using. Now another cool thing about this pylon is if you are using a dash or a teleport, this is going to allow that to come up quicker. So yet again allowing you to navigate through the rift very quickly. Bad floor, look for the next floor. And then we have the Shield Pylon. This is going to allow you not to take any damage whatsoever. It's also going to eliminate all CC. You cannot be frozen. However, you can be wormholed still. I'm not entirely sure why this is, but wormhole is the one thing that the Shield Pylon does not protect against. But everything else you cannot be CC'd and you do not take any damage. So very useful pylon. And also they removed the reflect damage portion of it because it was causing major lag issues. And for the 4th pylon, we're looking at the Conduit Pylon. This pylon allows for massive lightning strikes to emanate from your character. And these will pretty much eliminate everything in the area. The one thing you got to remember is these are not an infinite amount of bolts that fire off of you. You want to make sure that you are gathering stuff up for this pylon, preferably just elites and elite packs, because you want to eliminate all the white mobs so that the elite packs take the damage from the conduit. Before clicking on a conduit, I know when we get into a rift, sometimes it's exciting. Oh, I got a conduit, and you want to click that and just progress through the rift, but you want to think about, do I have enough elites here to burn down with it? Because this is pretty much the most powerful area clear in the game as far as pylons go, and you want to make sure that you are utilizing that for elite groups, not just trashy white mobs. I mean, obviously, sometimes you're going to run into a problem where you don't have any elites around. Almost the end of the level, you might want to click this and just go see what you got, not waste too much time. But overall, you want to use these to kill off elites. And a lot of times you want to eliminate the trash that is surrounding you before you click this pylon. That way, all those bursts that are coming off of your person are hitting the elite pack. So very useful information right there. Conduit, one of the strongest, if not the strongest pylon in the game when it comes to rift progression. And the last pylon in the game is the Power Pylon. This increases your damage by 400%. This is a massive damage boost, and whenever possible, trying to save this for the Rift Guardian is absolutely epic. And if you are on a character that uses Stricken, you want to make sure that you're stacking up your Stricken stacks, especially in super high level GRs. Stack that Stricken up so that it increases your damage progressively, and then hit the power pylon. Do not just, as soon as you start the fight with the Rift Guardian or whatever, don't just automatically click this, because you want to build up your Stricken stacks if you're using Stricken. But this pylon is definitely very useful for killing off Rift Guardians. If you cannot save it for the Rift Guardians, try to get as many elites as possible around you before clicking this so that you can wipe them all out pretty instantly. This deals a massive amount of damage. 400% increased damage is absolutely crazy. So there you have the 5 different types of pylons in Diablo 3. Now let's talk about rift progression as far as pylon spawns go. Now the way greater rift progression and pylons work is you pretty much get a 3% increased chance of spawning a pylon for every 1% of progression. So when you do reach about 33% progression in the rift, if you have not spawned a pylon before then, one should be spawning. Now this is not 100% guaranteed. You can't get it to 100%, but once it reaches 99%, you want to go looking for where a pylon normally spawns on the map, and it should be there. I'd say most of the time it will be there. While playing with the clan and stuff like that, I can actually call out when a pylon has spawned without actually seeing the pylon, just based off of rift progression. Somebody who I enjoy watching, who is really good at following that, is Zanji, the tank top hero. If you notice on his stream, he's got it marked on his overlay over the rift progression bar when those pylons are going to spawn. And that is very, very useful to keep that in mind and to start memorizing where those pylons normally spawn. When you're in a GR and a pylon spawns, try to remember where that was on that map, because that is a pylon spawn location. And you want to try to remember that instead of just randomly looking around for pylons. Another thing to remember while you are progressing through, once a Rift Guardian spawns, you cannot spawn a pylon. One will not spawn, so don't waste 30 seconds trying to find a pylon at a spot where you know pylons spawn when you should be killing the Rift Guardian. Once that Rift Guardian appears, you cannot spawn a pylon at all. Now at 99% rift progression, you could actually go look for where a pylon normally spawns, see if you can get one to spawn before the Rift Guardian pops, and that might actually help you, especially if it's a power pylon against a Rift Guardian, because nothing beats getting that power pylon right before the Rift Guardian spawns and knowing that you can save it for halfway through the fight and just wreck that Rift Guardian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this stuff has helped you greatly in your Diablo 3 gameplay, especially for greater rift progression. Hopefully you find my Diablo 3 basics videos educational, and I really hope you learned something. I know I do as I am researching this stuff. Make sure that I have the accurate information. I learn a lot too, so I'm glad that I do make these videos. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you so very, very much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, thank you so very, very much. You guys have a great day. Peace.